Good morning, dear students. Let's start the revision. But before we start this revision, I would like to just tell you about the syllabus, as there is some change is been done by the board. And so let's see here. The board has removed the two chapters, that is the first chapter, Earth as a planet, and the fifth chapter, that is landforms of the Earth. Now only I will tell you about the first semester. Previously in the first semester you need to prepare the 6 chapters, that is up to rock and rock cycle. These 6 chapters already we have finished, but now for the first semester you have to prepare only 4 chapters, that is the latitude and longitude, rotation and revolution, earth structure, and rocks and rock cycle, because the first chapter, that is the earth as a planet and landforms of the earth, it has been removed, so you don't need to study. But with these 4 chapters you also need to study the map, because in the first semester the map will be asked, map will be given to you in the examination. So you need to prepare this map. It's given here, as you can see. In this you have to study. In this first semester you don't need to study about the natural regions of the world, but only ocean, seas, gulf and strait, all the rivers which is given here only, and mountains which is given here, and plateaus. Now these all map I will explain you afterwards. And let's quickly just do a quick revision of chapter 2, that is the latitude and longitude, because first chapter is removed. So this is now the first chapter, latitude and longitude. So already I explained you about the latitude, the concept of latitude and the concept of longitude. To just those who have not have seen the video where I have explained the whole chapter in detail, for that I will attach the link, and you can open the link in the YouTube from the same Teach Next platform. From there you can see the whole session again. But let's do the quick revision here. So here you can find here, the first of all I explained you about the shape of the earth, and the earth shape, as I told you, it is an oblate spheroid. We also call it the geoid shape, which you have already studied in class 8th. Now I explained you that the earth can be divided into 4 hemispheres. How? Horizontally northern and southern, and vertically into eastern and western hemisphere. Then I explained you about the 4 cardinal directions, all of you know, that is north, south, east, west. You can see here north, south, then west, and this is east. But again between these 4 directions you can find northeast, northwest, southwest and southeast. They are called intermediary directions. Directions already you studied in class 7th. Now here let's see another thing is the Earth's grid system. Now here the network of the parallels of latitude and the meridian of longitudes, which is drawn there on the globe, this is called the Earth's grid system. By this Earth grid system actually it becomes easier to locate the places on the Earth. Now let's start the latitude. Now I explained you, with this figure I explained you about the concept of latitude, as both the latitude and longitude, all of you know, it is usually denoted in degrees. So why it is in degree? Where is the angle? So first of all we are going to see about the latitude. Now if you see here in this figure, you can find this 30 degree, this latitude, it makes a angle from the center of the earth, from the equator, and this is 30 degree of angle, and this is why this latitude is called the 30 degree north. Why north? Because it is in the northern hemisphere. Same way, if this latitude would be located in the southern hemisphere, we will call it 30 degree south or southern latitude. Same way, this is 60 degree latitude, 60 degree north latitude. Why it is 60 degree? Because it forms an angle from the center of the earth, that is from the equator. This is 60 degree, this angle is 60 degree, and so this latitude we call it 60 degree north. Well, this is why, as you can find here the definition, it is written here, the latitude of a place is the angular distance of that place north and south of the equator as measured from the center of the earth. Now quickly let's see here about some important latitudes. So there are the 5 very important latitudes are: first is the equator, second is Tropic of Cancer, third is the Tropic of Capricorn, Arctic Circle and Antarctic Circle. These are the 5 most important latitudes. Now next, as all of you know, these latitudes, they also divide the earth into different heat zones. So this is the importance of latitude. The first importance is the latitude actually, because they divide the earth into the different heat zones, and so it also affects the climate of the earth. And as you can find, the climate and the vegetation both are closely related. Example, if you see in the tundra region, where the climate conditions are very harsh, very extremely cold, that's why you can't find any vegetation. The whole region is covered with the very thick layer of ice, and so even you can see even the very few animals and the life that is found there. Well, next is the latitude along with the longitude. They enable us to spot the places on the globe, that is on the earth. So this is the importance of latitude. Third is about the equator. As all of you know, equator is called the great circle. Why? Because it is the greatest latitude and it divides the earth into 2 hemispheres, that is northern and southern hemisphere. Now next is the determining the latitude. Now there are the 2 ways. The first way is by observing the pole star. By observing the pole star, as you can find here in this figure, suppose this is a latitude and this is a pole star. From here actually the angle is seen by an instrument, and by that actually the angle of the latitude, they use especially the people who used to sail actually in the sea, the sailors, they usually used to use this method. Another method is by observing the midday sun. Now by the midday sun actually also the latitude can be determined. So these are the 2 methods, by observing pole star, second is by observing the midday sun. Now next is the climatic zone. Already I explained you that the latitude divides the whole earth into 3 climatic zones. What are they? The first is the torrid zone, then the temperate zone and frigid zone. As you can find here, the region between the tropics is called tropical zone or torrid zone. The region that is between the tropics and the circles, that is Arctic Circle and Antarctic Circle, they are called temperate zone. And the region that is inside the circles on the poles, they are called the frigid zone. These are the 3 heat zones. Next is the concept of longitude. As I told you with this figure, I explained you, as you can find, this is the prime meridian, and here this longitude is 40 degree east longitude. So why it is 40 degree east? You can find here in this figure, it is, as it is shown, it is forming an angle. It is angular. It forms from the center of the earth. You can see it forms one angle, and this angle is 40 degree. This is why this longitude is called 40 degree, and as it is situated in the eastern hemisphere, so we call it 40 degree east longitude. So this is why even you can find here the definition, as it is written here, the longitude of a place is the angular distance of that place east or west of the prime meridian. So the same thing you can find here in this figure. Now the most important longitude is the prime meridian. What is prime meridian? It is a 0 degree longitude, and it divides the earth into two hemispheres, east and west hemisphere. Now next is the importance of longitude. So here the first thing, the longitude together with the latitude, they are used to locate the place, the certain places on the surface. Second is the great circle route. So the longitude actually, usually this grid actually, as they forms a grid, as you can find together with the latitude, the network of the longitude and latitude. Well, the thing is here, one more thing, great circle route. What is a great circle route? Let me explain you once again. Let's revise it. So as you can find here, this is a globe. Now here if you find here on the northern pole, this is a one latitude. Now these are the two places, X and Y. Now usually the plane actually, the aeroplane, it flies either in the east or either in the west. So with the latitude, if they fly, so you can see this is a very long distance. So which is the shortest distance? When the aeroplane, it flies above this pole, this is the north pole. So when it flies above this north pole and reaches to point X, now this is the shortest route. So the shortest route between the 2 points on the globe is called the great circle route. So this is the great circle route. The same thing is shown here also with in this figure, as you can find here. This plane actually goes here a very long distance, but when it flies over the north pole, this is the north pole, this is the shortest distance. So this shortest distance is called the great circle route. And the arc means, this is also called arc of great circle. The great circle route is also called the arc of great circle. Now next is the calculation of longitude and time. Now usually what happens, now next is the longitude and time, the calculation of longitude and time. As the longitude, it divides the earth into different time zones. Now there are 24 time zones. The whole earth actually is divided into 24 time zone. There are 24 hours, so each time zone is of 1 hour. Now I explain you this, the whole thing in the session, so you can again see the video, just watch it and you will understand it, but let me just revise it in a very short way. So usually this is, as usually when we move towards east, what happen, we gain time, but when we move towards east, so this is the east, so we gain time, but towards the west we usually lose the time. Now this is a different globe actually, this different picture that is shown in different way. That's why west is shown this side, east is shown this side. But usually if you will find this map here, this figure, this is from the another side of the globe. Now this side, if you find here, this is a prime meridian. So this is prime meridian, 0 degree meridian. But in this figure, this is another side. You can find here, this is 180 degree longitude. So from the another side, if you see the globe, you will find east is this side, west is this side. But if you see this globe, this figure from the side where the prime meridian lies, so you will see the east is this side, means the right hand side, and west lies on the left hand side. So usually when we move toward east, so what happen, we gain time. Why we gain time? Because the sun rises from the east. So the places situated towards the eastern side, they experience the morning first. And the west side, what happened? They are late, means afterwards they experience the sun or sunrise. Well, so this thing, the common way, when we move towards east, we gain time, but when we travel towards west, we lose time. This is a method we use in calculation of the time. This is why, now let me show you one example here, this figure. Now usually the prime meridian, that is 0 degree longitude, is also known as the GMT. Now what is GMT? Now GMT means the Greenwich Mean Time. GMT means Greenwich Mean Time because the 0 degree meridian passes through a place Greenwich near London, where Royal Astronomical Observatory lies, and this is why actually this longitude is usually fixed as the international time. Time, that is GMT, is also called international time, right? So the time of all over the globe or every country, it is usually calculated according to the GMT. So if you know the GMT, means the international time, so you can calculate the time of any country. Well, so now let's see here how you are going to calculate the time of our country, India. Now this is 0 degree prime meridian. Now the standard time of standard longitude on which the Indian standard time is fixed is 82.5 degree. So the difference between the prime meridian and the Indian standard time, that is IST, that is 82.5 degree, and when you calculate it, so you will find there is a 5 hour and 30-minute difference. So suppose if there is a 12 o'clock on the 0 degree prime meridian, because prime meridian, the time of the prime meridian is also followed by Great Britain. So suppose the time in London in Great Britain is 12 o'clock noon time, so in India it will be 5:30 p.m., that is evening time. So this is how actually one example I have shown you that how usually we calculate the time. The whole description I have shown there in the YouTube, a link I will attach it. You can watch it. Now next important thing is the international date line, and as I told you that 180 degree longitude is taken as an international date line to fix the date, and you will find this line is not straight, it is zigzag. Why? I explained you, because this straight line passes through some countries like Russia, then these Aleutian Islands, these are all islands are the part of USA, and here also these are the islands here, they are the part of one country. That's why you can find this one international date line is deviated at some places to remove this indifference, this inconvenience caused by the international date line. Well, so this is 180 degree longitude is the international date line. It is not straight. Why it is zigzag? To remove the inconvenience caused by this straight line. So this is over now. So all of you, this is a revision is over, this chapter, revision of this chapter. So all of you just do one thing. Already you can see here the questions are given here. So all of you just find out the answer from the book. As you can see, the questions are very easy. Okay, and if anything is there, any queries, so you can just mail it there. Some link is there in the NLP, so you will see it afterwards. All the best.